L.
You're telling
I
me to
know.
include my audio over here ruining the 1 year stream. Don't even want to hear it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Minecraft, also known as Minecraft. So, I recently remembered that I have a copy of this world from before I put everything on it. So we're going to take a look at the map wall here and some of the structures in Greater Jackson, and we're going to compare it to the way it looked before I touched it, and Ohio touched it, and everybody else
I
touched it.
touched it a
Because,
lot.
man, we have molested the shit out of this
I
land.
think I've molested the most of it.
So, the biggest changes are going to be up here in Ohio, which you will see was
Completely
basically there was almost no land here. There was no land here that I built. This has changed vastly since then. That was terraformed. I mean, all of Main Street was had to be terraformed for the most part. This was the first structure here, and you'll get to see what the ravine looked like before, because it was changed a little bit. You'll get to see what Strawberry looked like before I leveled it. What Alcatraz Island looked like before it was Alcatraz. Some of Camdaria. And I think that's... And then the national park, it won't really be very obvious to see the changes, since it's, you know, nature. But, the castle, Kabook, the mine, all that stuff, that's going to be pretty much totally different from the way it looks now. So let's go ahead and make our way over to that world here. I don't know why you even joined back into the world, honestly.
Because I was still building. I was
always.
still expanding Ohio.
Never stops.
Ohio expands. It's all Ohio.
So let me go through all of the incredible amounts of fucking worlds that I have here until I find the Jackson Untouched. Conveniently, I named it something very easy to. World update. Make a backup and I don't need a backup copy of the world. Update and play. So it's pretty different. You can tell in a lot of like where things used to be, and I would make a map wall for this for better comparison, but frankly I can't be bothered. And I just thought of that now, so I'm not gonna do that during the stream.
I guess I didn't say it out loud.
What?
I was thinking that, and then I guess I didn't say it out loud.
Apparently not.
It's all in my head. I'm real.
It's all in my head.
Well, this song is actually in your head.
Alright, here we are. Oh my god. Alright, here is the ravine. This is what the ravine looked like originally. You're probably a world spawn. Oh, you're here. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wait,
so here's where the house was originally built. There's actually... I used this world as a survival world very briefly.
This is it?
Oh god.
This is wild.
Okay.
What?
New terrain generation has put a fucking mesa biome over there. That's, not lore.
What happened?
There's just a literal mesa biome.
Oh,
here.
what the hunky tonk?
That was not supposed to happen. So this tree here, this used to be a tree house at one point.
Oh
the
my
house
lord,
was built
this
right
isn't
about
at all
here. No, some of this... Let me see how far down can I go before that starts
really
changing
bad.
too. Oh god. That is whack.
This isn't
Right,
gonna be
Alcatraz
as
Island
close
appears to be the
us.
same. Well, it's, you know, that's just the unfortunate nature of playing this, but it's most of the stuff that you're actually thinking of is still there. So
I mean,
Alcatraz
here's where the
Island.
bridge is.
Here's what that used to look like. That doesn't really mean a whole lot
This
to my
is where the
viewers.
PP Hotel is. Oh, you're not.
In the real save, no, I'm not following you, and you're not streaming either. So there was supposed to be a jungle temple here, but there isn't. This is Camdaria, for the most part. I've kind of made my way over here just because I wanted to see if the terrain generation worked with Camdaria, which it did, for the most part. Here's what Strawberry looked like before. You can see there's more intact buildings, for the most part. I kind of miss Strawberry sometimes, but it was good for lore, so I don't really care that much, to be honest. Oh yeah, I did build a survival house here, because for a minute I thought about making a survival world out of the creative world as well, so I had one of each. But...
The park, oh no.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be totally scuffed, because I could tell you for a fact that I did not go there.
Holy shit, dude, come play the park!
Hold on! I gotta do my
my god,
thing
this is the
first.
biggest cave I've ever
Jesus.
seen. This is like the Mammoth Cave, dude.
Oh. So this area right here, this is, I originally made a pool here. So I had my house here, and I built it along this ravine. And then you can still see actually the little gradual slope here. So this is the location of what used to be a pool. Now it's city center. You can see there's about where the memorial to that one villager is. Here's the grave site. The stables are like up here. This is where the military base would be. If we go over here, this is where I built the saloon. So like a lot more. There were a lot of trees here before. I did take out an exceptional amount of trees. So then you'd go over here, and then this is kind of the route that Main Street took. So you can see I had to do a lot of terraforming for that. And at right around here is about where the Main Street ends. That lava thing, I'm not sure if that lava lake was originally there. If I continue on, back over here, this is where the beef farm is, where it used to just be a regular farm. There's the lumber mill. This area right here has gone through a lot of edits, so this is what it used to look like.
Wait, what's this? What?
I don't know.
There's like a berry farm here.
This, I believe right here, this is the tree that Murph made his original house out of, that no longer exists.
There's diamonds and stuff here.
Then if you would continue on over here, like I said, this area went through a bunch of different stages. It used to be a house for villagers, but that didn't really work out. It was a Herobrine statue for a minute. Also didn't work out. This used to be kind of the main entrance to Jackson, and then you would go over here. And a waltz to the side here. This area right here used to be one of my nephew's houses, and you can see it's, you know, comparatively it's not terribly close to where it used to be. He built it because it was kind of far out, but now this is the site of the Tower of Freedom, which used to be, I believe it was the MC Tower, not the MC Tower, the JM Tower, something like that. It was supposed to be kind of like the CN Tower in Toronto. It's just a large, like, watchtower that you could look out through. And then that's where the memorial for Bunker Hill is. You go a little bit farther over here, that's still kind of there. This is more or less the area where the shooting range is. Yeah, pretty much right there. And then there's not a whole lot over here until you get to... Oop, I skipped it a little bit. Right here, this is where my house is built. And you can see this little pond here that I actually turned into a river that then goes out over to here. So I had to build that river, and there's a little sneak peek of that area. Here's these two little peaks here of basic land of just, you know, these are some of the taller areas that are now kind of cave houses. Right here is where the Jackson Castle is. If you go a little bit farther out here, which actually a lot of this wasn't that long ago when all this was terraformed, but this is now Kabook, this general flat area here. The Kabook Quarry is back here, built into the side of here. And then Bunker Hills on the other side, right about, I think it was right about here. In some of the flat area over there. Murph's house is right here, I think? Or right here? Yeah, right here, I think. Along the Ohio River. The real surprise, hey Ohio, there he is if we go over to what is now Ohio. So
This
this
entire
is the
area
land
here?
that, this right here is what used to be Jimstown. So I built a house right here that was of kind of more of a beach-like design, something you'd find in like Florida or something. And oh, fair enough. And then I built like some farmland over here, took out some of the trees, just kind of made it look a little
Yeah,
better.
you think you have farmland?
Not make it look a little better. Well, I said a little farmland, I didn't say shit ton of farm. Wow, it's nighttime and raining. Jesus. Right here. Now right here is where Alaska was built. So we just kind of extended a bunch of land here for that. This is Arizona. Arizona originally kind of ended here. And it was this island here, which is, oh, okay, it's a thunderstorm. I see. We're gonna make it not be that. So, as you can see, we built a bridge getting to it. So this used to be Redstone Island. So in order to make builds for things, I would place redstone here, and I would just kind of, see if they worked. So at one point, I leveled it out and made it grass, for simplicity's sake. And you can see right here is where we built the missile, so you can see where we carved ground out. And you can see that this has been expanded actually quite a bit. This used to end here, but at one point I built the military base here, and I extended it a little bit so it would fit better, but I ended up getting rid of it and placing it over here. Which this area used to have a bank, but I got rid of the bank too. Right along here, there used to be an absolutely massive nether portal, but I got rid of that in favor of making it on what is now Arizona. And you can see the docks are right here that look out towards what used to actually be a lake, Erie. And then the compass is right about here. There's a bunch of stuff there. What's his name built a house there. Yeah, this is whack as fuck. Right here, because this is not at all supposed to look like this. I don't know why this game's favorite thing is, oh, they haven't been here yet, make it a mesa biome. But they did. And since that's a mesa biome, pretty much all the terrain after that's going to be messed up, but there's some other villages that haven't been affected too terribly much by everything.
I saw a village over where the state park is.
Yeah, let's go. Let's actually. Yeah, I got a little sidetracked from Ohio. Let's go back to Ohio. So this is the land that the PP Hotel was built on, for the most part.
Yep.
That's about it. Now most of Ohio is under this land. This is where I built the track, which is why it had that lake in the middle. Actually, it still has it. That's why it had it, because I built it around this. And it actually, you can see compared to where Jimstown was, and where Ohio now is, it was pretty decently far out, for what it's worth. And now there's pretty much all the land, well, literally all of this land, all of this water, all the way up to like here, is now Ohio. And also,
It's all Ohio.
all of the land from here. Okay, yeah, that is not it. that
Dude, that
yeah,
cave is so big.
That is. Where is this cave?
It's over
to speak
here.
of? I don't know where you
It's by the
are, so
ocean.
that's not really helpful. By the ocean.
It looks like a weird face.
I mean, so do you, but I don't really say that to your face.
You'd say it to this face.
Whoa! Yeah, I see where you got that idea from. Yeah, but this is some whack-ass cave update shit. Yeah, so the cave update has impeded this a little bit, but for the most part, most of this is still accurate.
Dude,
Yeah, but
it's
you can see the
crazy down
exact
here. Like, look
chunk
at all
cut off.
this. Holy crap.
Well, you gotta remember, I explored the cave update. I know what caves look like now.
I don't. I mean, I've been to an actual cave, so.
Ah, and I can see here that, so in the original map, it was these two blocks were cut out, but the water didn't flow in here for
Holy
some
shit,
reason.
this is
Here's
cool.
this little fishing hut here now.
How is it negative
well.
200? What?
It's not that hard. Blocks don't travel that far. This is also a part of Kabuk, if I remember correctly, I think.
How am I negative 200 something?
Oh, here it is. This is what I'm looking at. Because the world goes far down now. This has actually been relatively, well, it was relatively untouched. A lot of the land that Kabuk is on now was pretty. It stayed that way for a long while. I think the trail only went about yay far. So I mean, Jackson's changed a lot since its incorporation. There's a lot of shit here now. A lot of land that still hasn't been touched. Like, I mean, this land looks more or less identical right here. Oh. Here's another thing. This is where the lookout tower was built. The Two Forks Lookout, which actually is, like I said, I mean, it was pretty far out originally, because this was one of, probably within the first 5 builds on the map. And it's, you know, I mean, here's that, and then there's, you know, the watchtower. So originally it was actually very far away, but now not so much. Now the land right here has gone through a couple changes. It's actually gone through like 3 iterations. It used to be, for a little bit, it used to be a campground, because it was pretty far out from the rest of Jackson, so I decided to make it a little campground. So basically I took out that tree and then took out some of the land here and made it more flat, and then built some tents and stuff, and that just didn't really work. So then I built a little house here that kind of functioned as a somewhat like survival house in the original world. So if I felt like playing survival instead of using my real house, I would be technically a different person and would have a different house. But I obviously didn't really do a whole lot with that idea. Now this area right here is Vault 114, which I actually think is a pretty good location for a vault, all things considered. So yeah, you can see there's that tree is still there, and then it turns over here, descends. You can see I had to cover that up. So there's a lot of there. I mean, the biggest change is this area, because this is kind of like downtown Jackson. And believe it or not, actually, and I'm not sure if I've shown this on camera, but since this area used to be a little lake, and I kept some semblance of that later on, but since this used to be a lake here, and I made it into a pool for a brief moment, you can actually still see the pool. Just built grass at the top of it. So if you dig 1 block under in that area, you can actually see dirt. You can see like prismarine, is it? Whatever the shit that ocean temples are made out of and shit. So you can see this is about where, yeah, this is where I built the house and all of its contents. See, so this is kind of the area of the ravine I cut out, and then kind of ended here, and there was some builds over here. There used to be the area under what is now Town Hall in Jackson used to be kind of this was when my creative world doctrine was build a house, get all the best shit, and then turn it into a survival world. So this map kind of saw my change in doctrine, going from building creative worlds to then turn into survival worlds to them just being creative worlds that kind of had their own identity. Which this is actually the only one, but still. So, because... Bruh. Because of that, it, there was some, different builds that I made, which you can actually still see some of the remnants of. Right about here, I think I had like a generator, which is funny because it's in a ravine. The whole damn thing is a cobblestone generator, but whatever. And then right about here, I had a storage room, and then on the inside of the build under the there's actually still is an end portal, which has been kind of usurped by Alaska, and what's the other thing that's there? Enchanting room, which has actually not been usurped by anything technically. It's just there's an enchanting room in just about every house. So you can kind of see some of that old school style of the way I used to do things. But yeah, I covered it up, I think about around here, and then I covered up a lot of this land, starting, I don't know, maybe about here over, to make room for, as Ohio continues to dig large holes for no reason, because he's bored. Which I kind of answered the reason there, so, yeah, to be fair. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in Jackson that really needs going over in that situation. Not necessarily. I think, we just
I
go
think
back
everything
to
was
Strawberry
covered
for
quite
another...
elegantly.
Yeah. For another moment. This house I turned into a train station, which has since been destroyed because of the war. You know, why would there be a train station to a country that you're literally at war with? That wouldn't make sense. You can see I didn't really do a whole hell of a lot to Alcatraz. I did break some trees and, you know, build some walls and stuff, because that's how it works. But, and this used to just be an island with a single house on it. That one house used to be... Yeah, let's go back to, regular...
Thank God.
Real Jackson, so we can, take a look at some of the other builds that I've been talking about that looked one way at one point and look a different way now, or, you know, stuff like that, just so you can get a better idea, and also so we can go through it again, remind everybody of what things look like for better understanding, and also because this video isn't long enough yet. We haven't even hit the 30-minute mark, and that is shorter than any video on my channel, and I will not accept that. But I didn't realize that this video is like totally better suited for your channel, because it would have been more, would be shorter. But unlike you, I want my videos to be no less than 30 minutes, or else they feel like a failure.
You're
Anyway,
still talking?
I am still talking. I do that quite frequently. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at like Strawberry and Alcatraz Island. We're gonna take a look at the military base, Redstone Island, all that stuff, and just now that we've shown you what things used to look like, now we're gonna once again just take a look at what they look like now, because it's just absolutely wild. And also, you know, just remind you that no, there is in fact not a bunch of mesa, or that was savanna over there, a bunch of savanna biome. So pretty much, so this used to just be beach that went out to ocean, that would cross all of this area. Again, there was a small island here. This island was much smaller, a little more concise. You can see that connects. You can see I expanded that river. You know, again, the castle and Kabook. The quarry over here. But yeah, the big player here is this. And you can see I built a house in this location twice. There's also a house in this original location, but that was also destroyed because, well, why would I have a house in a country we're warring with? So you can see, or actually, okay, so this house was not the train station. The train station was slightly above it, and you can actually see that it's still accessible, but it does get cut off at some point, because it was blown up. Well, part of it was blown up. It wasn't blown up. Part of it was. And you can see that Murph built a new house here in the last time we were on Minecraft. So yeah, you can see, so actually I didn't even build along the absolute edge of it. I built at least one block at the first block up. So this building here used to be what I call the mob-proof house. So it was a house that essentially could only be entered and exited externally. It was surrounded by obsidian. Well, most of it was made of obsidian. And because of the wall, actually, the way you can still see some remnants of it. So there used to be an entrance right here. So you would go under there and up here, because it's meant to, again, be not really accessible. And then there used to be a button here that I'm just going to go ahead and place down again, because why not? It still works with the lore of a prison island, I suppose. Where are the buttons? There are the buttons. Oak button. Whoop. So yeah, and then we go over here and up into, now it's just a prison cell, but it used to be a house that was surrounded by fire, and it had, like, you know, like I said, you can actually see a lot of builds that are its style, I guess. So you can see one of these. These are all built by my niece and nephew, just so you're aware that these are not my doing. But yeah, you can see they kind of followed a similar house building doctrine with a lot of their houses in the area. They just surrounded one of them. This house was already destroyed, which kind of gave me the idea for destroying the city, is that this house was already fucked up anyway. Oh yeah, and there's something I literally entirely forgot to mention, was the pride one, which doesn't really affect geography as much as it is just, you just can't hardly not see it once it's there. So yeah, this, like I said, one of the oldest buildings, probably my favorite building. I am a big fan of this Two Forks Lookout. It is one of my favorite builds that I've built. Oh, that was loud.
Yep.
And you can see there's just one little itty bitty map here now. But yeah, this, I do quite like Two Forks Lookout. And then, like I said, this area, I flattened it out a little bit, but there used to be campgrounds here, and then it became, for a little bit, a house, so there was a small farm here, and then I just kind of rebuilt this area to replace it with bricks, and then, now you can see kind of that it's a vault. It's one of the cooler, that build's still kind of a work in progress, but I'm liking the way it's going. I finally made Whiskey Hotel, not Whiskey Hotel, but also made it look better. So now it's kind of like a corporate office. I'm thinking about creating a company and incorporating it into the world. The going company is Coors, just because that's, you know, it's a Colorado company, but also it's, well, technically it's not a company at all anymore. It's Molson Coors, which is a merger and bullshit like that. But I figured I could incorporate. Wow, I missed that entire thing. That's cringe. I want to fix that real quick. Anyway, like I said, there's just I fixed that. Just kind of made it look better. Again, I tried that little Trump Tower idea, but it didn't really work out in my favor. Oh my god, all sorts of shit I missed. But yeah, I just made that look better. It's gonna be a corporate office of something, and I'm gonna replace the interior with an actual, like, office building instead of a bedroom, because that doesn't really make sense. So yeah, now you can see just a reminder of, whoa, fireworks. I forgot that did that. So you can see what I covered up here of the the ravine, which is ironic because that's the whole namesake. That's the whole reason this world exists is because of this ravine here. So, in all fairness, it's kind of sad that I covered it up a bit. Oh yeah, to remind y'all what I was talking about. Like I said, literally just there's a pool under here. So just as a kind of a neat reminder of the way things used to be, you can still see the old pool back when this house was just. This house used to end here. Like it was just this was the whole house. Was now what is just a waiting room.
I forgot to say. Write this down. You can buy chisel.
Nope. Keeps going.
You can buy some.
Okay. This is actually the second time this has been an animal hanging area, believe it or not. We have done this on multiple occasions. I have done this on multiple occasions. When the Tower of Freedom used to be here, which is what this little thing is for, it's just kind of a reminder, but I felt like it didn't make sense for it to be on top of the pub anymore. I used to have some hay bales here that you could like jump onto. Off of the tower, but now the tower is not there. And now this is, once again, a llama hanging station. Now, Ohio is going to hate this. What?
Is it the more recent one that we did?
Yeah, the one by the pub. The saloon, I mean.
Buddy.
Yeah. It's the second time I'm pretty sure that's the second time that has happened, specifically. It's kind of convenient that y'all chose to build it there. But, the Tower of Freedom used to be, and this was, I don't remember if this was before Jacksepticeye played Minecraft or after. No, it was before, actually. It used to be, and I don't know if this was the specific name, but if I remember correctly, it used to be the Tower of Ireland. Believe it or not. It used to have a very large Irish flag on it, and then a beacon in each of those three colors. But eventually I decided to rebrand in a more well, I guess that's technically patriotic, but just for the wrong country. In a more American style.
That's right. If you're patriotic for your country, it's the wrong country. Only American.
It's called Saloon 1776 now, but it used to be called Battery Pub. When I first founded this city, I was really into Metallica, so a lot of places were named after Metallica songs or other thrash songs. One of which was the song Battery. So it was the Battery Pub, which was also convenient because what is probably the most common thing to happen in a pub? Battery. As in the criminal charge. So, but then I just renewed it. Yeah, there you go. But now it's Saloon 1776. And the windows used to be the color of the Irish flag. The carpet here used to be the color of the Irish flag, which admittedly worked better, but I don't really care. And you can see back here, there used to be a farm behind that, but now, well, technically there is still a farm, but it's a bee farm now. That's another land that's went under a few different modifications. This used to be a farmland, but I've had to make a lot of changes to Jackson, or to Raventon, after Ohio built Ohio, because a lot of builds here were outclassed, so I had to make them into something else. like the Whiskey Hotel, briefly being Whiskey Apartments, and now being presumably Coors corporate offices, but I might change the name later, just to maybe I'll make up a company name and invent a product or something so I can be a little bit better than just naming it a real thing, but we'll see. Like I said, this area right here, which is now the Millers, this used to be a bunch of different things. There used to be a large villager house here that kept all the villagers that used to inhabit this area, but villagers kept dying or despawning, so I just gave up on that idea. And I just turned it into a lumber mill, because we needed a lumber mill. Although I feel like now a lumber mill would make a little bit more sense in Kabook. And actually, there actually is lumber. So, but at least in Raveenton, the lumber mill is an organized place, because some of the bases for this world. So there's kind of like 3 different paths this world has taken. The first path was basically I built a house, got all max diamond shit, because this was before Netherite, and then I would just turn it into a survival world. So I just built a house, got all the shit, turned it into a survival world. But eventually I realized that I wanted to keep building things. And over time, I was like, I kind of want to make, I was kind of influenced by a bunch of SMPs and stuff to try and make, like, a city that people could, like, buy property on and have places like a lot of the buildings on Main Street were built with that in mind. We have a blacksmith shop and a shop for ranged weapons and pets, a general store for all the shit I couldn't think of, a bank, which used to be in a different location, a record store, and the hotels. That was all kind of meant, and that's why it's like right after the train station, because you get off of the train, or what is really just a boat. You get off the boat on ice, and you walk out and you're greeted by a bank and other, buildings of the sort. The police station, that was just convenient for it, and same thing for this, I suppose. But, and then you're greeted by all those buildings that you can buy things at and kind of start your life at, and that's why, Town Hall is the way it is too, because you walk in and then you can talk to the mayor about getting fucking land and land grants and shit, or you can go over to what used to be the courthouse and is still the courthouse, but just the courthouse of Raveenton and not the courthouse of Ohio, because now there are 2. I had a thought going. Where was it going? Oh, yeah, so this was built with that in mind. The stables, this was built to be a place that you could, like, keep or buy horses, which actually Aqua built himself a little place here, which I'm not sure if we're going to keep that. Yeah, he built nothing other than a cool display for his horse. So, there's that, I suppose. There used to be a tree here with Murph's house. He then destroyed the house and the tree, so I then put a tree there again in its place. So you can see there is still a tree there, even though it is a different kind. It's kind of the tall Christmas tree instead of just the regular tall tree. But then, like, builds like this, these were builds that I just kind of was like, maybe I don't want to make it into an SMP type world, because frankly that just wasn't going to work out. I don't have enough friends for that. And none of my friends are very good at following rules, so to make something like an SMP just wouldn't make sense. So I kind of gave up on that idea. Now it's just kind of a world that we just build shit on, but also, I at least try to kind of make it loosely based on a realistic town. I try to, it's like, oh yeah, a town would have this, or I keep lore in, so like, places will close down, be demolished, businesses will close if it's determined that there's no fucking market for them. Like the hotels, where Ohio made PP Hotel, and I realized that there was no fucking point in keeping Whiskey Hotel open. So I then had to rebrand that.
Put yours out of business.
You put that out of business, but in its place has become an actual corporation. So now there's an actual corporation instead of just a bunch of local businesses. We've got our first Walmart on our hands, kiddos. Actually, I think the first micro company was probably like Sears or something. I don't know. But you get the idea. So, now there's like an actual, genuine corporation in Jackson. And what I plan on doing with that is whatever product I make, because like for example, if I made it Coors, then what I was gonna do is I was gonna like in pubs and saloons in various different towns, I would incorporate those products there. And just kind of make it seem like there's an actual like brands out there. I thought about that with Magpul originally, but there was two problems with that. One, Magpul just doesn't really make sense in Minecraft, and B, I couldn't really market Magpul's products very well. That just wouldn't be something that would be very easy to do. So ultimately I decided against that, because the only place it would really make sense is in the Good Side of Bass Pro Shops, and that's about it. So, I mean, we'll see. I still have a lot of things planned for this world, but now y'all have a better idea of just how far this world's come in the last, 3 years. It's like, sure, Ohio's done a lot in the last 3 months, but let's not discredit my work here.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've
Yeah, you would say that.
definitely overdone it. I'm about to make a giant baseball stadium too, so like.
That is fair, yeah. I think Ohio has become kind of the tourist destination here, which makes sense because it's a hotel. Another reason why Whiskey Hotel just didn't really make sense, because it's so far away from all the attractions. Because now, like, Ravington's kind of the commercial district. That's where all the companies are and all the businesses and all that kind of stuff. But then you go out to Ohio, and once you get past the cornfield, you've got a racetrack, a drag strip, a nature preserve, a big-ass dick hotel, formerly a roller coaster, now a baseball field. And then under it, it's a little more corporate as well, because he's involved Culver's and Cabela's, the two C's, into his build. Instead of making up corporations, he's just decided to use actual ones, which, fair enough, I guess. We've got Cabela's, and where's
Literally says the Good Side of Bass Pro Shops. Don't even want to hear it.
That's fair.
And Coors.
But also, you named your restaurant Culver's. Well, yeah, but I've stated already that I plan on just making up a corporation and a product. Some, like, Schlatt coin, you know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
I'm not gonna make a Schlatt coin type thing, but I'm just using that as an example. So that is.
I don't have to shift this river.
Sure, you will have to. Well, that is the before and after of Jackson, the United Territories of Jackson, and also some of the future plans for what we plan on doing in the future. That was redundant, but whatever. I'm gonna leave Ohio, so that's not the last thing Stream sees.
Wow. You just can't accept the fact that, my builds are better.
I know, I've accepted it, I just don't like you.
Wow. Tough talk for a guy who sucks cock. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the stream. If you enjoyed, please go check out some other Dale Wolfhard 14 episodes of Minecraft and Lego Star Wars and other video games on Xbox. Please go check out Ohio Man Gaming as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, everybody.
Don't use my line. Have a good one, everybody.